To put it very straightforward, very simple, if this goes the wrong way, the Spider-Man community will be rioting because there's no actual way. There's no freaking way. What the fuck are you doing, Sony? How stupid can you be? I can't, bro. Like, if Sony actually wins, we're cooked. Fucking cooked. So if you haven't heard, you're probably wondering, oh god, what did Sony do this time? And you may be thinking, well, Madam Web just released, it's getting terrible reviews, some worse than Morbius, which I would reply, not necessarily that, but we will get into that in this video and a separate video once I watch Madam Web. I haven't watched it yet. But word on the street is that apparently Sony is trying to rush Spider-Man 4 out and wants it to be a multiversal film, while Kevin Feige wants it to be more grounded. So yeah, we're going to be talking about why they are trying to rush Spider-Man 4 out, and as well, the director they end up choosing for Spider-Man 4. So make sure to tune into the end. You do not want to miss this. Like, this could literally make or break MCU Spider-Man 4. Let's start off with the obvious and then lead into what it means and the maybe not so obvious for some. Every Spider-Man 4 rumor we've had so far is pretty much coming from Daniel RPK, or almost, I should say. So yeah, this is coming from Daniel RPK following our rumors. So with that being said, anything not confirmed by Sony, Marvel, or an executive at Sony or Marvel are to be taken with a grain of salt. Now lock in and listen. Daniel RPK has said that Sony is trying to rush Spider-Man 4 releasing, and Kevin Feige wants a new director for the film, but Tom Rothman wants John Watts to continue directing Tom Holland Spider-Man. Man, what the fuck? So now let's break this down. For those of you who do not know Tom Rothman, he is a producer, film executive, but most importantly, the current chairman / CEO of Sony Pictures. We talked about Tom Rothman a while ago. This was maybe like a year ago. There was an interview that he did with The Hollywood Reporter, and Tom Rothman told them that he would hope for Tom Holland, Zendaya, and John Watts to return for Spider-Man 4. Then we recently heard that Kevin Feige wants Spider-Man 4 to be more grounded essentially, and that they have been looking at Drew Goddard to direct the film, who also ran the Daredevil Netflix series. So now the thing is, like, okay, Kevin wants a new director, but Sony wants the same crew to return. Now you may be wondering why. Why does Sony want the same crew to return? Well, there's two reasons why they want John Watts to return and why they want to rush out Spider-Man 4. The first reason is because they're fucking retarded, all sarcasm and jokes aside. The second reason, the most important reason, is because of the dreaded, god-awful Sony Spider-Man Marvel universe. Now you're probably wondering, Scarlet, what does their universe have to do with them rushing out Spider-Man 4? It's in the MCU. Young bull, do me a favor. Lock in and listen. Let me enlighten you in case you may have forgotten or not realized any of the following by now. When is the last time Sony produced a good, well-received Spider-Man film other than the Tom Holland trilogy? Because that's kind of a different story, considering one, it's a part of the MCU, and two, No Way Home, nostalgia, you know. So we're talking about anything produced strictly by Sony and nobody else. Say it with me now. Spider-Man 2 by Sam Raimi, because that's the last Spider-Man film Sony has released without their greasy, money-hungry, disgusting fingertips all over it. Right. And yeah, whether or not you may think Spider-Man 3 is or was good, that's not topic of discussion right now. We're, talking about generally well received by the audience or the fans. With that being said, we have had Venom, which, okay, it did good in box office only because it was the first Venom movie. Of course, that's gonna get eaten up. And Venom 2, that was only good because Carnage. So okay, whatever, we'll give both of those films passes for now, right? Here's where the problem began, and Sony has not learned their lesson still, even after the most recent film they released, Madam Web. Morbius bombed in box office. Not once, but twice. Madam Web is also doing worse than Morbius, if I'm not mistaken as well, which I'm not surprised by whatsoever, and I haven't even seen the film yet. And keep that in mind for Kraven the Hunter, because that's still going on, don't forget that. And even if Kraven is good, most people probably don't want to see it, especially after Morbius, especially after Madam Web. Venom 3 will probably do okay because, it's Venom. That's it, no other reason, unless Spider-Man ends up being in it, but highly doubt that at this point. But you want to know what I bet you forgot about that Sony still reportedly thinks is a good idea, so it's back in the works? The El Muerto project. Oh yeah, real excited for that one. a movie about a guy who's appeared in comics once, maybe twice, if that. Real excited for that, even though it's probably going to definitely by far underperform any other movie I just listed that they have released or plan to release. Now, I said all of that because all of these films are underperforming in box office. Now, this means that they are significantly losing a lot of money. And allow me to put this into perspective for you. Madam Web should have been making anywhere from like a couple $100 million bare minimum to maybe on a good day $400 million, because I mean, let's be real, it's including fucking Spider-Woman, for God's sake. The first appearance in live action of Spider-Woman. This shit should be making it like definitely past 100 million at 200 million bare minimum. But nope, that shit is doing fucking god awful in box office. I believe it was reported to be making 18.5 million to 22 million, maybe 25, or if you really want to be naive and optimistic, 30 million. Gang, the first week sales ended up being $17.6 million.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
And just for shits and giggles, their budget for the film was 90 million at first, but then, you know, they had to do reshoots, edit stuff out, take stuff out. So after it was all said and done, these fucking idiots spent 120 million to create Madam Web. So essentially they are down $102 million. Again, fucking idiots losing money when you could be making money by, you know, letting people just do their shit. But anyway, nonetheless, let's, you know, get back to the topic at hand. Sony's thought process is essentially, okay, we're losing a lot of money on these shitty films we're making, but we can't stop making them because, you know, we got to keep that sweet Spider-Man license. What shall we do? They want to make Spider-Man 4 a multiversal film, including Andrew and Tobey. Essentially another No Way Home. Now, I think I speak for pretty much everybody when I say, what in the fuck is going on at Sony in that boardroom? What are they smoking where they essentially want to create No Way Home V2?
We don't want that.
Not right now anyway. We just had that shit, man. And like, here's the thing, right? If we see that John Watts is announced to be directing Spider-Man 4, we're fucking cooked, guys. We're absolutely fucked, because that probably means Sony won and it's going to be a multiversal film. While on the other hand, if we see a new director get announced like Drew Goddard or whoever Kevin Feige ends up hiring, we're more than likely going to get what we actually want for Spider-Man 4. And that's not all they're arguing about. I guess as well they're butting heads on the release date of Spider-Man 4. Kevin Feige wants to go for a summer release. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was reported or rumored that Spider-Man 4 is eyeing a summer release window. So there's a lot of rumors and confirmed things from the past that seem to start lining up now when it comes to, like, you know, what Sony wants versus what Marvel wants with Spider-Man 4. But we're actually gonna go back to this in a second because we got another Daniel RPK scoop where he said that Marvel is going to announce who the directors are for Spider-Man 4 and Avengers 5 soon. And if I took that the correct way, it sounds like maybe Spider-Man 4 and Avengers 5 will be directed by the same person, but who knows? I mean, I think that would be nice considering, like, I don't know if it was just me, but like, I thought it was kind of weird how, like, you know, we had Civil War Spider-Man, then Homecoming Spider-Man, then we got Infinity War Spider-Man and Endgame Spider-Man versus Far From Home and No Way Home Spider-Man. Like, they were kind of written a little differently, of course, because, you know, different directors and etc. But still, it would be nice to have a little consistency there. Okay. So yeah, that's that. Back to the Sony Marvel shenanigans. You may think this isn't important, but this actually could be, and kind of is very important as far as like Sony versus Marvel / Disney and their relationship in general, but as well with Spider-Man being in between also. Now, we all know Sony to be greedy fucking bastards when it comes to money. I mean, look at what they're trying to do with Spider-Man 4. With that, it's been reported that Disney and Sony have signed a major deal for Sony Pictures Home Entertainment to take over all of Disney's physical media production going forward. Now, what does this mean for those who may not know? This means essentially Sony will be taking over full production for Disney's Blu-ray sets, 4K sets, other forms of physical media, whatever that is. And that means that Disney will bring more Disney Stuff Plus to physical media as well, and that Disney doesn't really have to spend much money on the physical stuff or whatever, because instead Sony is going to do it because they own it. Now, with all of like pretty much all the news that we've covered today, here's my running theory that I kind of just like instantly thought of while making this video. So I'm thinking, right, Sony is dumb, has been releasing Madam Web, Morbius, Venom, whatever, to hold on Spider-Man licensing, right? Spider-Man live action licensing. But they've been bombing in the box office other than Venom, but they haven't released Venom for what, 2 or 3 years. No Way Home was also 2 or 3 years ago as well. So, you know, they want to rush Spider-Man 4 out. They want to make it a multiverse film, add Toby, Andrew, so that they can make another $2 billion hype train movie like No Way Home. But Disney/Marvel doesn't want to do that, which is where they're butting heads. Here's what I think is happening or may have happened. I feel like maybe Sony said to Marvel, you know, again, we want more money and we can do it by rushing Spider-Man 4, making it multiversal. Marvel disagrees, and maybe Marvel said, okay, you want more money? Take over our physical media production as long as we can do Spider-Man 4 how we want to, have at it, go nuts. Now, this very well could be just, you know, me being naive, possibly delusional, but I feel like maybe that's a possibility, you feel me? I mean, I do see a lot of people asking for like Star Wars sets and shit, and like, you know, maybe there's people that want some of their Disney Plus stuff in physical media. Maybe that'll give Sony some money. Either way though, Disney, Marvel, and Sony seem to be like, you know, playing nicer with each other as time goes on, and we have been getting reports of that again for like a year or so. Maybe my theory is true, maybe not, who knows? I don't know, man. This entire shit is just fucking stupid. Like, why can't Sony just not completely be incompetent with the Spider-Man live action licensing? What do you think of all this? Do you think my theory may be true or not? Do you hope Spider-Man 4 is essentially No Way Home V2, or do you want it to be grounded street level with Kingpin, Daredevil, and Scorpion? With that being said, I want to hear your opinions. Make sure to comment down below so I can interact with you in the comments. Thank you for taking time out of your day to click on this video. If you're new to the channel, I usually try my best to cover confirmations, rumors, leaks regarding Spider-Man media, and whatever else I'm interested in. So if that's what you're interested in, hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 5K. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and to check out my last upload at the top left. Hope you ever had a good day and that you enjoyed the video. Until next time.